Good morning, children. Earlier we learned about what are the is matter pure and what is meant by matter, and some of the examples related to some of the substances. What is the type of pure substance and what are the types of mixtures. So today we will be learning about what is meant by solutions. So before knowing about what is meant by solutions, we will be learning some of the examples of solutions. What is a solution? Solution is nothing but mixing of two components, like for example salt and water, sugar and water, lemon and water. These all comes under solution. So what is meant by solution? Before knowing this, what is the here these three comes under what type of mixtures? Is these are all homogeneous or heterogeneous? Yes, these all belongs to homogeneous mixtures. So what is the definition of solution? Yes, here the solution may be defined as mixture of two or more substances and which cannot be separated after the process of filtration. See, for example, if we had taken one test tube and add some water, to it add some salt crystals. After stirring, means after the process, the salt get dissolved in water, right? So after filtration is nothing but taking any help of net. If we take any help of net and we transferred into any bowl, so there is no fine particles we find in the test tube. In this, right, we find only water. So this type of substances are known as homogeneous substances. Okay, these homogeneous substances are the substances having two types of substances. So let us take some of the examples like sugar and water, lemon and water. Here we are taking two substances, right? We should call it by name. So let us take here sugar and water are present. Here which is the larger quantity and which is the smaller quantity? Here water will be, here sugar will be added to the water, right? So water is the larger quantity and sugar is the smaller quantity. So the solvent is the substance which is in the larger quantity. And what is meant by solute? The substance which is in the smaller quantity. Okay, let us take some of the examples. Here they had given the examples of the iodine and alcohol. Here the iodine and alcohol. Here what is the solvent and what is the solute? Here the alcohol is a solvent and iodine is the solute. Okay, we have learned about the what is meant by solution. So here let us know about the properties of solution. What is meant by solution? Solution is nothing but it is an homogeneous substances. After filtration it is not separated, means salt and water. When salt get dissolved in water, salt will not come again, right? So these type of mixtures are known as solution. Here we will, here from this experiment we could get an idea, right? Here these solutions are very small in size, right? After the mixing up of these two components, the salt, we will see the color of water like shade in white, right? So here what would happen if you add a little more solute to the solvent? Here what is meant by solute and what is meant by solvent? Here the solute is a substance which is having the smaller quantity, and what is meant by solvent? The substance which is in the larger quantity. What happens if the little solute is present? For example, let us take a small crystals of a small quantity of sugar and a large quantity of water. So when these two get mixed up, what happens? We can find only the water but not the sugar, because this is the smaller quantity and this gets dissolved in water. Sugar gets dissolved in water, right? What do you determine the percentage of solute present in the solution? How will be knowing the percentage of solute and the percentage of solution? It is only based upon the quantity we had taken. The quantity we had taken. It is either the solute or the solvent. Now let us learn about the concentration of solution. How will be knowing the concentration of solution? The concentration of solution will be known by a small example. Concentration. Concentration is nothing but how much thick the substance is. Concentration means the amount of solute that had dissolved in a solvent is more. Means, for example, if we had taken, let us take some one spoon of sugar and 50 ml of water is added. 50 ml means very small quantity, right? 1 spoon means small spoon. So here the density of water is equal to the sugar, but not totally equal. It is nearly equal, right? Here the density of water and sugar are nearly equal. Means the water will be taste like sweet, right? So this solution is concentrated, means the amount of solute and solvent will be nearly equal. Here also they had given, let us see. For example, take 1 gram of sugar and add 50 ml of water to it. We had added similar to this example, and also take 30 grams of sugar, add the same amount of water. As I said earlier, these two are nearly equal. If we take the amount of water 30 ml, so the concentration of this solution will be more when compared to this, because 1 spoon of sugar will be nearly equal to 30 ml of water when compared to the 50 ml of water, right? And next, our parents used to take tea at the break time, at the after snacks, right? If we had taken 1 cup of let us know the preparation of saturated and unsaturated solutions. What is meant by saturation and what is meant by unsaturation? Saturation is nothing but when no more solute can be dissolved in solution. For example, take one glass, or take one glass of water and add sugar. Okay, first take water and next add sugar, stir it well, and again to the same test tube add some sugar, stir it, and again the same test tube will be adding some sugar, again stir it. Slowly what happens? The process will becomes slow down. Children, again we will be repeating the activity on saturated and unsaturated solution. First, we should take one test tube, add some water, to it add some sugar, and to the solution again add some sugar, stir it well, means we should mix the water and sugar well until it dissolves, and next add another spoon of sugar, it gets dissolved, right? So when compared to second step and third step, the dissolved point of sugar will be decreased. So the sugar will be dissolved slowly, right? Because as you know, the water molecules in the beaker will be like this. when we add sugar in the first step, will becomes, this is the water molecules, right? When we add, it occupies some space. Again, if we add some sugar to it, it occupies some space. Because there is no space to occupy another spoon of sugar, so the process is slow. So this is the same activity. Saturation is nothing but, saturation point is nothing but the point up to which the solute get dissolved. What is meant by solute? It is the smaller quantity. Here what is the smaller quantity? Sugar is the smaller quantity, means sugar is the solute. Okay, understood? Here the water molecules present in the test tube will be occupied by the sugar molecules, so it cannot dissolve. The sugar will not dissolve the fully completed sugar molecules. So this point is known as up to where the sugar molecules will dissolve in a water. This point is called saturation point. Saturation point. Here the water is ready to dissolve the sugar. So these two points, these two process is said to be as unsaturated. Okay, this is the same activity. You can learn from this and know what is meant by saturation and unsaturated solution. So let us go to the another activity to know what are the factors affecting the rate of dissolving. So earlier I said it is only based upon the type of solute we use and the quantity we used, and the quantity is only based upon whether it is a solute or solvent. So let us take another example. Take 3 beakers of water, means let us assume it as 100 ml of water. To this add 2 spoons of salt to all the 3 beakers. First, let the salt fixed in the solution will not be disturbed, and next stir it well with the help of a spoon. Okay, and next heat the solution with the help of candle or anything. So let us see, this is undisturbed, means we are not making any process. It remains the same. As we place some salt to the solution, it remains undissolved. So next we are stirring means we are mixing water and salt. So these two get mixed up and the process is happening, right? Here the process happening means the salt get dissolved in the water. Here due to the heat, because అంటే మనము స్పూన్తో కలిపినప్పుడు జరిగిన రియాక్షన్ కింద ఫ్లేమ్ ఉన్న రియాక్షన్ చాలా డిఫరెంట్ కదా. అంటే ఈ ఫ్లేమ్ ఎప్పుడైతే మనం యూజ్ చేస్తామో ఫాస్ట్గా సాల్ట్ అనేది డిజాల్వ్ అయిపోతుంది వాటర్లో. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం 3 బీకర్స్ని కన్సిడర్ చేసుకొని ఏం ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ని అవుతుంది. సో ఫస్ట్ దానిలో ఏం చేసాము, డిస్టర్బ్ చేయలేదు. సెకండ్ దానిలో ఏం చేసాము, స్పూన్తో డిజాల్వ్ చేసాము సాల్ట్ని వాటర్లో. థర్డ్ దాన్ని హీట్తో యూజ్ చేసి డిజాల్వ్ చేసాము. సో నెక్స్ట్, సో మనం ద కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ సొల్యూషన్ని ఎలా డిఫైన్ చేయగలుగుతాము? ఇక్కడ చెప్పండి. కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద సాచురేషన్ పాయింట్. కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు వాటర్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ అనేవి వాటర్ అండ్ సాల్ట్ కన్సిడర్ చేసామనుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు వాటర్ సాల్ట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు వాటర్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ అనేవి ఇట్లా ఉన్నాయి, సాల్ట్ వచ్చి యాడ్ అయింది. యాడ్ అయితే ఏమైంది, వాటర్ మధ్యలోకి సాల్ట్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ అనేవి మిక్స్ అయిపోతాయి. అప్పుడు దాని కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అయిపోతుంది. సో ద కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ సొల్యూషన్ని మనం ఎలా డిఫైన్ చేయగలుగుతామంటే ద కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ సొల్యూషన్ ఈజ్ డిఫైన్డ్ యాజ్ ద మాస్ ఆఫ్ ద సొల్యూట్ టు ద మాస్ ఆఫ్ ద సొల్యూషన్ అండ్ ద అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ క్వాంటిటీ విచ్ we consider. So here what are the affecting factors for the rate of dissolving? Here it is depending upon, in this it is depending upon the type of process, the temperature point and the particle we used for solvent. Means I already said the solvent may be sugar, salt or any which consists of smaller quantity. Okay, let us see the formula to calculate the percentage of a solute. Percentage of the solute. So here they had given the mass of percentage of a solute is mass of the solute to the mass of the solution into 100. So what is the mass of the solute? Mass of the solute is nothing but the smaller quantity. What is the mass of the solution? Means the mixed solution. It may be water and salt or water and sugar, lemon and water. It may be anything. Means if we consider lemon and water, here the lemon will be the solvent and here water will be the solute. Okay. Here next, how do we calculate the volume of the solution? We can calculate the volume of the solution by the mass of the solute. Means how much the weight of the solute is, or how much to the volume of the solution. Means how much weight the solution is to the quantity of the solution. Here they had given, see, the amount in grams of solute present in 100 grams of solution, present 10 in grams of solute present in 100 grams of solution. We will be calculating for 1 gram to the 100 grams, right? Here let us know an example and it will be clear for you all. Let us take an example. Here they had given a solution contains 50 grams of common salt. What is the formula of common salt? The name of the common salt is NaCl. Okay, NaCl, which is nothing but sodium chloride. Okay, a solution contains 50 grams of common salt. Means here salt is what? The solute. Salt is the solute. Okay, what is the solvent? Here the water is the solvent. So solvent is given as 200 grams. Here the salt is given as 50 grams and they are asking to calculate the concentration in the terms of mass by volume by mass percentage of the solution. So we should calculate the mass percentage of the solution. Okay, here before calculating the mass percentage of the solution, we want to know the total amount of solution. Here solution is what? It is nothing but the mixture of the solute and the solvent. Here the solute is salt and solvent is water. How much grams of the solute we had taken? 50 grams. Plus how much we had taken the solvent? 200 grams. As these two are in the form of grams, we will be getting 250 grams. So we had got the mass of the solution. Now to calculate the percentage. Here percentage is nothing but into 100. So we all know that we earlier learned what is the mass percentage of the solute. What is the mass percentage of the solution? It is calculated as the mass of the solute to the mass of the solution. Here what is the mass of the solute? Here solute is nothing but the salt. How much the salt is? 50 grams by how much the mass of the solution? Here the mass of the solution is 250 grams. So into percentage they are asking. So into 100. So we will be getting 20%. Right? 5 ones, 5 twos. Okay, into 10 by 10. We will be getting 20%. It's nothing but 20 by 100. Okay, 20%. Let us now do it as homework for 5 minutes. What is an exam? It is having 80 ml of solution. I will explain and you can do as homework. You can do it as homework. I will explain, you will be doing homework. Here they had given 80 ml of solution. Means here the solution is given and 20 grams of solute. And what they are asking? To calculate the concentration in terms of mass of volume percentage of a solution. We all know formula, right? This formula is mass of the solute to the volume of the solution into 100. So here they had given the solute and here we had given solute and solvent. By calculating these two, we will be getting mass of the solution. After this, substitute these two values and the mass of the solution value in this and you will be getting answer. Okay, next. Then moving forward, we'll be knowing what is meant by suspensions and colloidal solutions. Before knowing what is meant by suspension and what is meant by colloidal solution, let us do one activity so it will be clear for you. Okay, take some chalk powder. Okay, means really use chalk on the board, right? The dust which we get is called chalk powder. Okay, take some chalk powder in test tube. Okay, and take few drops of milk. This is the chalk powder and this is milk with the same quantity. Okay, to these first test tube, second test tube, to these two add some water. Add some water. Here which is solute and which is solvent? Here the solute is chalk powder. Here the solute is, again I will be repeating how to find the heterogeneous mixtures from the suspensions and colloidals. What do you mean by heterogeneous mixtures? The mixtures which are having the different substances. Means the heterogeneous are nothing but the combination of kerosene and water. These type of substances is known as heterogeneous substances. This type of solutions are known as heterogeneous substances. So suspensions and colloidal solutions comes from the heterogeneous substances. Okay, so to learn about this, let us have an activity which I said earlier. I will be repeating again. Okay, take two test tubes. One is filled with the chalk powder and other is filled with the milk. So add some water to it and add water to the another test tube also. Here the solute is chalk powder and milk, and solvent is, as you all know, it is a water. Okay, now we'll be mixing these two. Means chalk powder and water will be mixed well. It is nothing but stirring. Here also stirring. After stirring, you find some particles at the bottom. which are settled down. In this, you will not find any particle, because you should think that if any beaker containing water, if these molecules will be like this, water will be having some molecules. So when we add something to it, and if we add some components to it, will be replacing like this. So they get attached to this water. Okay, water and salt, water and sugar. Okay, after this, what do you mean by suspensions from this? This suspension is nothing but the heterogeneous substances. Means this is the heterogeneous substances, but we are thinking that if we add some water to the chalk powder, these two will not mix. At the bottom it will be settled down some particles, but these type of solutions will also be like heterogeneous substances. So you should make a table. We will be making a table so that it will be clear for you all. This mixture is, we had, what are the mixtures we had taken? Chalk mixture and milk mixture. When passed light to these two test tubes, the torch will be moving to this test tube and light will be focusing down. Here also light will be passing through this and focusing down. So these two will be allowing light. Did solute settle down? Yes or no? Did the chalk powder mix settle down? After stirring, if we kept undisturbed, it will be settled down. Milk mixture, it will not settle down as it is a liquid. Here the mixtures may be the solid, liquid or gas. Do you all know that atmosphere is a mixture of gases? So what are the gases that are present in the atmosphere? Gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and some inert gases also present in the atmosphere. What are these inert gases which does not have any content like helium, etc.? Okay, so here what is meant by suspension? Suspensions are nothing but the heterogeneous mixtures which are visible to our naked eye. Means here the chalk powder is will be visible if we kept undisturbed. Means after stirring, if we kept undisturbed, it will be like heterogeneous substance. Means it will not mix completely, right? When compared to the milk and water, this will be somewhat not pure when compared to this. So it is a heterogeneous substance. After this, when milk particles and water, here in the second test tube, as the milk particles are very smaller in size, this is the homogeneous substances, but it is also an heterogeneous substance because the milk is a liquid and water is a liquid. The change, if we add two same quantities of water and milk, it will be like having same quantity, and if we placed undisturbed, for example, if we boil the milk, what happens? The water which is present in the milk will be gets evaporated, right? Means here also some elimination will be taken place. So here they are saying, see, these particles easily scatter in the beam of visible light. Such mixtures are called colloidal solutions. Here the suspensions are also the heterogeneous mixtures of solid and a liquid in which the solids does not dissolve like mixtures of soil and water. For example, if you take chalk powder and water, or else you can take an example of soil and water. Also you can take here the colloidal dispersions may appear homogeneous, but actually they are heterogeneous. Means they looks like homogeneous and heterogeneous. If you had any confusion, you should know what are the, let us know some of the definitions, like what is meant by mixture. Recall them. I will be writing questions. What is a mixture? What is meant by molecule? What is meant by, what are the types of mixtures? Till now we had discussed these all. What is a mixture? Molecule, types of mixtures, what is a solution, and what are the present in the solution, and what is a homogeneous, what is heterogeneous, and what is a colloidal, what is a colloidal solution, and what is the suspension. Okay, these all are main. If we move forward, these to be clear, very clear, you should all know what are these all. So recall them and we will be moving forward. Okay, here in the colloidal solution, okay, after learning these, we'll be moving to the next. What is a mixture? Mixture is nothing but combination of two components. Okay, like this you will be getting some small definitions. Recall them, know them properly, and you will be knowing easily to the next topics. Here, colloidal solution. As I said earlier, these are very small and these looks like a homogeneous substances, and these scatter, these particles easily scatter the visible light. Here, the mixtures having the characteristics of both solution and suspension. These type of solutions is called colloidal solutions. Okay, the larger substances means if we had taken the example of milk, chalk powder, right? We can also take the examples like milk, butter, cheese, cream, gel, boot polish, clouds in the sky also. Okay, here colloidal solutions are nothing but the heterogeneous because it looks like a homogeneous, but they are heterogeneous in nature. In this we find two types, disperse phase and dispersion medium. Dispersion medium. What is a disperse phase? Disperse phase, it is nothing but the small portion and it contains very small size. The size of the colloidal size will be 1 nanometer to 100 nanometers. Here the dispersion medium. What is meant by dispersion medium? What is meant by dispersion medium? Dispersion medium is nothing but the colloidal particles which get dispersed, means it gets dissolved. These two types of substances may be, as I said, any solution may be in the form of solid, liquid or gas. Okay, these three type of colloidal solutions will be only depending upon the type of state, whether it is a solid state or a liquid state or gaseous state. Let us take some of the examples in our daily life. For example, in winter we will be seeing some fog, right? Which is a mixture of some air. Here what is a fog? It is a liquid state. Here what is air? It is in the gaseous form. Okay, let us see some of the examples which are given in a textbook. So what are the types of dispersion medium? As I said, the dispersion medium and the dispersed phase may be either solid, liquid or gas. See, let us take a gas and liquid. As I said, here fog and air. It is the aerosol. Aerosol is nothing but the small particle. It may be the fog, clouds, mist, etc. What is the gas and solid? It may be the gas which is released by the vehicles, and the solid may be the bike. Here the what is the liquid and what is the gas, because in perfumes we will be seeing in fog in the fog perfume we will be seeing the liquid, right, with the combination of some gas, which is the foam. For example, shaving foam. Liquid, it is nothing but emulsifier, milk and face cream. Liquid and solid, it is becomes a solution. It will be like a milk of magnesia. Solid and gas, this combination will become as sponge and rubber. These are examples and these are the mediums which we will be taking, and you will be learning all this Here see what is meant by Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect is nothing but the scattering of beam of light. For example, in a thick forest, the light will be dispersed in between the small. Like for example, if you went to Tirupati while we are going up, there will be a tall trees where light will be very small, focusing down, right? Here also the same Tyndall effect. The scientist named Tyndall had identified this and known. Okay, here the atoms are molecules which are exposed to the light energy and emit some part of light in the different direction is called scattering. What do you mean by scattering? Scattering is nothing but the dispersion, means moving moving in the different direction. Here the scattering is nothing but moving in the different direction, Here they have given the example. See, this is a thick forest and the sunlight is there. Here we find some sunlight, here we find some